But something major happening this morning, Monday morning, the first morning commute where I-64 westbound, all lanes are blocked from I-264 to Story Ave. Eric, I mentioned before I won't be going to Trader Joe's until after June 16th because this is going to be a headache for plenty of people this morning.
If there is one benefit, it's that JCPS is not in session anymore. That's going to take some traffic off the street. Sam, you see him live there for us now, just off of the Watterson on Shelbyville Road. Sam, this is an area that is backed up on its best day. So when you add in these detours, we're expecting this to be heavily trafficked.
Exactly, Eric. You said it well. It is backed up on a just regular day, but of course we have the factor in I-64 westbound being shut down for 2 weeks. And we've already been noticing traffic behind me getting a little more busy. We have a line of cars moving through right now, but you can see the Watterson Expressway is right behind me here in the distance, both east and westbound. You can take that east and westbound from I-64, but we do expect Shelbyville Road, maybe towards Frankfort Avenue, and even Taylorsville Road to get pretty bottled up. So let's take a close look at some of these detoured routes a little bit closer. The busiest, of course, with this whole detour will be taking the Watterson Expressway eastbound towards I-71 and taking that southbound on the northeast side of town. But keep in mind, too, you can also get onto Zorn Avenue, exit onto 71 southbound into downtown Louisville as well. Now, let's take a close look down to the south. Of course, Shelbyville Road, where we're at right now by Golf Galaxy and the McDonald's. We're expecting Shelbyville Road westbound to get really, really busy later on today, or through the course of the morning to Frankfort Avenue and Lexington Road. And of course, Taylorsville Road is another option that those motorists can keep in mind as well. So, Eric and Colleen, this is today's day one of many through the next 2 weeks, where we're expecting to see conditions get really busy across town, especially on the east side heading into downtown Louisville.
Thank you. Now, if you're anything like me and you look at maps, and I'm not Dora the Explorer, it's Dora the Explorer. It's easy to get confused. Yeah, but chances are, if you use Interstate 64, you're going to need this stretch of road. So this is going to impact a lot of people.
Exactly. I'm right in that category, Eric. I was driving in on 64 this morning, and I even hit this construction, had to detour onto the Watterson, go all the way down to I-65 just to be able to get into the downtown area this morning. But my commute at 3 a.m. is going to look a lot different from your commute coming up here, and really could just be a couple of minutes before you get out on the roadways. Now, the Department of Highways says that this is a necessary closure because they have a lot of work that needs to get done along that 6-mile stretch from the Watterson all the way to Story Avenue. Now, they're going to be doing some shoulder work and getting guardrails updated and up to standard, but probably the biggest part of this construction project is going to be what happens inside the Cochrane Tunnel. Right now, on the westbound side, they are going to be digging up roughly 19 inches of concrete. That 19 inches is what makes up the tunnel's driving surface on the westbound side of I-64. They're going to replace all that with asphalt so that the whole stretch is the same surface. Now, the last time crews did this much work was all the way back in 2001, and officials hope that this closure means that they will be able to have a long time before any more repairs need to happen again.
So 22 years is the last time we did this. So people ask us again, why do you have to shut it down? We like to shut it down, get it done really well, last a long time, as opposed to every 3 to 5 years having to do minor maintenance and shut lanes down.
Now, the westbound lanes of I-64 are expected to be closed for 2 weeks, as we've been talking about, but then on the 16th, eastbound lanes will be closed for 2 weeks as all of this work just flips over to the eastbound side. And that one may be a little bit easier, Eric, because there is less concrete on that side to dig up inside the tunnel, but still going to be a headache for anybody who's traveling.
That makes sense. Also, that won't be happening at the same time as work around the Sherman-Minton Bridge. So if you're heading out to southern Indiana today, you need to be aware of this because the westbound lanes of I-64 near the Sherman-Minton Bridge are closed right now. They're expected to reopen tonight at midnight, so not at midnight, excuse me, tonight at 8 p.m. So do be aware of that. If you're trying to get to southern Indiana, we'd suggest that you take I-65 north to 265. And really, there's no need to be caught off guard by any of these closures. We're out in front of them when they happen. If you'd like to get those alerts on any traffic hangups that happen in real time or a list of detours that are scheduled, just download the WHAS11 app or go to WHAS11.com. Okay, 6:05 now. Police are investigating a deadly shooting in southwest Louisville around 11:30 last night. Officers were called to a shooting on St. Anthony Church Road. There, they found a man who'd been fatally shot. Right now, there are no suspects, so if you have any information, you're urged to call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. And a father accused of shooting and killing his son is expected in court this morning. This happened Saturday on Ralph Avenue in Shively, just off of Cane Run Road. According to a police report, 21-year-old Jordan Qualls was shot by his father, William Qualls. A witness told police it happened during an argument. William Qualls was arrested and charged with murder and domestic violence. Now, from the crimes to the solutions. In an effort to prevent gun violence in the city, Congressman Morgan McGarvey hosted a town hall to hear directly from community members. McGarvey has been an active proponent of gun reform since he took office in Washington. From Saturday's discussion, McGarvey hoped to gain more perspective on what his constituents would like to see in Congress.
There are people in our community who are still hurting from the mass shooting, who are still hurting from the everyday effects of gun violence. And I think, like me, are tired of the fact that we're not doing enough on a policy level that helps people out.
McGarvey's been calling for a ban on assault weapons, red flag laws, and universal background checks. Right now, 5 people are recovering from a deadly crash near Cherokee Park. This happened around 2 yesterday morning. This was right at Lexington Road where it hits Grinstead. The LMPD says 6 people were in the car when the driver lost control, hit a guardrail, then crashed into a tree. 21-year-old Javen Ramsey Russian was killed. The 5 other passengers were taken to the hospital and are expected to recover. So the generosity of this community is flat out unmatched. Because of all of you and 200 fire departments, scores of local businesses, the Crusade for Children raised more than $6.2 million for the children of this community. WHAS editor Trey Muntz highlights what really turned out to be an incredible weekend for the iconic annual effort.
Stand in the light and be seen as we are.
Doesn't this feel great? We're back in person with everybody.
LaGrange Fire Department total 2023 Crusade, $26,362.86.
You know, your dad.
He was amazing, and when it came to the crusade, he was never going to miss it. He was going to give it everything he had.
If there's anything that says Crusade for Children, it's something like a lemonade stand.
$525.
It's our honor to donate this money in honor of my sweet mother, Frances L. Bruner, and the Bruner family, my dad, Benny Bruner.
And they're here to show you tonight what an awesome dance team we've got, the Boogie Down Crew.
Tell us how much has been raised.
$1,010.13.
Paul's written his own book, Paul's Crusade. It tells his history, his story. His story is that the Crusade gave him bracelets.
$100,000 even.
$202,000. $23,964.93.
$886,289.89.
$4,300.
Dale Fire Department is $151,646.42. That's amazing.
I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. $5,326.
Yeah!
Lauren was my little brother. So we really enjoy doing it just to, you know, keep going in his honor. $18,777.62.
Our total is 6.
Terry's laugh at the end there says it all. Remember, it is not too late to donate, and there are several ways that you can do just that. Just scan the QR code on your screen, or you can go to WHAScrusade.org.